Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Celebrity Apprentice. Oh my god, this was one of the best episodes in like forever. Alright, so last week crazy old Dion was fired and she didn't let the door hit her with a good lord split her, but Nene was still upset because she called Nene a coward, and Nene is anything but a coward. Alright, so they had to get right back down to business. Trump called them back into the boardroom. He wanted to know what went on with Dion. And of course, Nene's like, she's an old bossy lady. And I ain't no coward, Mr. Trump. Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Nene. So the task this week is they need to create a work of art and sell it in their own gallery. But they're also going to be decorating a hat apiece. And the winner of the best hat gets money for their charity. So, and by the way, the hats aren't just any old hats. There's 7 new era baseball hats, and they were blank. Alright, so the PMs this week, it's going to be Marlee Matlin and John Rich. And Gary says, art, A-R-T, a righteous truth. I love Gary's little made-up phrases for the letters. They're pretty funny. John Rich wants money. He wants to raise the most amount of money ever in Celebrity Apprentice history, or in any Apprentice history for that matter. Jose Canseco's a little bit worried that he can't deliver though, because he does not have any friends because he burned all his bridges in the steroid scandal. It's so true. Alright, Marlee wants everyone to play nice on her team. She totally gave everybody a pep talk before they started working. Latoya, she's going to exploit the fact that she's Michael Jackson's brother. And why not? If it's all for charity. Alright, so Jose ends up having to leave because his dad takes a turn for the worse. He's battling cancer, so Trump throws him $25,000 for his charity. That was nice, Trump. Good job. So they all go shopping at Michael's. Oh my god, thank God Kristen still does not work at Michael's. She probably would have quit. Alright, you think Gary's got some good phrases? John Rich came up with, and I quote, Gary is a one-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen pond. It's my new favorite. My old favorite was busier than a one-legged man at an ass-kicking convention. Alright, so Latoya, she ends up giving Marlee a shirt that she had, that Michael had signed before he died, and it was for his tour, This Is It. Really nice of her. And touching. I don't think I would have wanted to part with that because there's only 2 in the world. Alright, Meatloaf can't find his stuff from Michael's, and that spurs a Meatloaf meltdown of epic proportion. I had never seen anybody freak out this bad ever. Not even the guy who got a speeding ticket up in Maine and like freaked out. Meatloaf goes medieval on Gary's ass because he thinks Gary is the one that's responsible for his missing stuff. And when I say medieval, I mean he was foaming. He was foaming at the mouth. I was ready to have them pull out the defibrillator paddles because the veins started popping out in his head. I thought he was going to have a stroke. Alright, so they find his bag, and I bet he felt pretty stupid, but he still wouldn't let up on Gary. He was like, just shut the hell up and do your effing artwork over there. Alright, so on the ladies' team, however, Star was working on the printed material because she's all about that. She likes to be sitting at the computer, at the printer, at the cash machine. They did a little sisterhood artwork together, and even though Nene and Star are supposed to be friends, I'm sensing a little tension happening between the 2 of them. Because Nene does not get along with everyone. I'm sorry. Nene is unique. She's unique. The men were on time. They arrived, you know, they wanted to avoid traffic. They got there early. They set up their studio, their gallery. They were confident. And I had a plane load of hillbillies arriving with cash in hand. The ladies, however, running late. Chronically late. They left hours after they were supposed to. They got stuck in traffic. Their gallery was empty like 15 minutes before they were supposed to open. In fact, up to 5 minutes before it was supposed to open, they still had not received their artwork. And it was pretty funny that Lil Wayne and now I'm turning into a Trump, Lil Wayne and Mark McGrath went over and did an MTV Cribs special off the cuff. Meatloaf, he's feeling really bad. He apologizes to Gary. And Gary was kind of a duty about it, but whatever. And he ended up saying, Meatloaf danced on a rainbow with no fear or doubt. What the hell does that mean, Gary? My God. All right, so the ladies, their art, like I said, arrived 5 minutes before the gallery was supposed to open. They didn't even have time to hang it up on the walls. And Richard Hatch, he had to reduce his paintings to like $1,000 each. I don't even know if he sold both of them, but he was not good at raising the money. He didn't know anybody, so he said. I mean, well, I guess the guy's been in jail for like the last 4 years, so. Then I cried because Colin showed up, a little boy from St. Jude's Hospital who's been battling cancer, and he was the sweetest kid ever. I just wanted to pick him up and take him home and hold him like a little baby and just give him a big hug. He was just amazing. Oh my God, I actually cried. And then when John Rich got $470,000 for the guitar, I cried again. The Sopranos dude came around to judge the hats, and we'll tell you the results later. All right, so it's time for the boardroom. The men, Lil Jon's going to become an artist now because he's been so inspired by the show. I mean, art is awesome. I cannot wait to start painting again. And it's not just because of the show. It's since Christmas, and I really want to start painting again. And Meatloaf, his art was pretty amazing. I mean, the things that he came up with, the basketball bounced, you know, butterflies in the park and blah, blah, blah. But then the whole Meatloaf fight came out. And they had to relive that. And Trump was just like, makes for good TV. I'm sure that's what he was thinking. It's all good. Everybody's a winner. The ladies, it was a big love fest over at their team. Nobody had anything bad to say about anybody. And LaToya, she won Best Hat. You know what? If my brother was Michael Jackson, I would have won Best Hat too, because the only thing that was on her hat was a freaking sequin glove. How is that art? Whatever. All right, so the record amount of money has been raised, and Trump makes a deal with everybody and says that if you guys agree, you can keep your money for your respective charities, and they both agreed. The men thought they won. They raised $626,908. Who gave the $8? It's so weird. Such a weird amount. But, yeah. But the women, and this was a total shocker, whoever did the editing this episode, it was fantastic. $986,000. And Trump gave the extra $14,000 to bump it up to $1 million. That was insane. I actually cried when I heard that amount because I know how much it meant to Marley to raise money for her charity, that much money. It was insane. Absolutely insane. All right, so they get to keep their money. The ladies got to stay in the boardroom, something Trump has never done before. They also got to suggest to Trump, after they had a little discussion with the guys, who they think should be fired. And Star tries to whisper to Marley, and she's like, I'm deaf. That was the funniest moment in the show. All right. The ladies also get the option of telling Trump not to fire one of the guys, but they went with the option of firing one of the guys. And I love the way that Marley explained it because she was so eloquent in her explanation that it's just business. And you know what? Nobody stood in and said, hey, one of the ladies shouldn't be fired when it was time to, the last 3 times to fire the ladies, especially when their commercial last week followed the rules and the guys did not. One of the guys should have been fired last week. So, you know, tit for tat, who cares? So they come up with Richard Hatch because he hardly raised any money, and Gary because he's crazy. He's not a good person going forward on the team. Marley comes to his defense. Trump's thinking, yeah, I can't get rid of the crazy yet. People still want to see Gary Busey and Meatloaf go at it, so got to keep the crazy. Richard, you fired. It was a good decision. You did the right thing, Trump. Next time, it's freaking Pirates and Nene. Till then, much love.